I didn't write it, it's from the manufacturers. You can download it, you can get it, and it tells you that it's category 1 carcinogenic. And he was quite cross about it, and he said what was happening, because his family was so prone to cancer, that they'd actually got his daughters, on this drug as a preventative.
That's absurd. They're doing chemo as a preventative.
And we just couldn't believe what we were hearing. And then a lady shot up from the front, and her husband was an oncologist, and she was a medical lady, and she said, yes, but it doesn't happen for 5 years. It doesn't cause cancer for 5 years.
Before it happens.
You think, what? Are you listening to what you're saying?
I hope he went home though and thought about that. You know,
Yeah.
after being with us for 3 hours, I hope that we planted some seeds in there that would help him
That would be nice.
change his mind with that.
Yeah.
Robert and Sue, what is your message to someone that might have recently been diagnosed with cancer?
I think that to understand that cancer requires certain things to flourish, and if you understand the basic principles of it requiring 3 things, I mean there's a lot of other things surrounding this, but it requires deoxygenation, so lack of oxygen. It requires acidity, so if you alkalize the body, that's going to go away from acidity, and if you introduce sugar into that environment, then you've got fermentation, respiration of the cells, rather than oxygen respiration. So we know 3 things there from Dr. Otto Warburg, who got the Nobel Prize for knowing all these in 1932, that we can fight the cancer with. We can oxygenate the body. We can alkalize the body. And it's like 2 sides of the same coin there. If you've got an alkalized body, your body on a cellular basis is able to absorb more oxygen. So, and then you take out sugar. Now, wow, that's incredible. That's incredibly stacking the odds in people's favor. And you start adding into all this thing, detoxification and apricot kernels or whatever you choose, cannabis oil. We didn't go down the cannabis oil route, but you start adding in these things and it's all stacking the odds in your favor. And to have the positive mindset that you're not in the hands of the man in the white coat, there's something in your hands that you can actually do, is empowering. And there's so much that people can do, yet they're not told this. And it's criminal. It's absolutely criminal that people aren't being told these things, and they're just being given foods that are actually causing cancer in themselves. Certainly you wouldn't class them as healthy foods, even for a healthy person. So why would you give them to a sick person? But understanding this, getting basic information is the key to actually stacking the odds in your favour, is what I would say.
Is there hope for someone that's been given that terminal diagnosis?
Oh gosh, yes. We've met them. So many. And there certainly was for me.
I think there's always hope, isn't there? Because you know what is a common thing that we're told, and I hate it when people say this, is that you can't give people false hope, can you? What are you talking about? Hope's hope. Hope is positive, and hope is inspirational. So you're saying that you're going to tell someone that they're going to die in 3 months' time? You'd prefer to do that? It just doesn't make sense, because it's almost like they're cursing people to death. I think I heard that on one of your documentaries. Yeah, the power of the spoken word over people. When someone says you've got 3 months to live, people live that out or die that out. And we had one gentleman that we were asked, he was a good friend of some friends of ours, and we were asked to speak to him, and we explained some things to him, and he was given 3 months, or I think it was 3 months. And he says, you don't understand, because we explained that Sue was actually written off, nothing we could do. He says, you don't understand. The doctors have said that I've got 3 months to live. And I said, yes, but if you do these things, you'll greatly stack the odds in your favour, potentially. And no, you don't understand. The doctors have said, I have no chance, that's it. And he wouldn't listen. It was like a brick wall that came up like this, and there was nothing getting past that wall. And that was sad. and he died almost to 3 months later.
I think we're finding a lot of people are so depressed after they come away from the oncologist as well. They seem to go into a depression, don't they, where they're just, they've got no life left in them. They're just sitting around all day waiting to die.
Yeah.
We know of somebody who hung himself a few months ago after a diagnosis that he couldn't cope with the word terminal, and it just breaks your heart that this is happening, that there's no positivity around cancer. It's such a scary thing for everybody. It should be, I don't know why they can't create a bit more hope around it rather than it being such a dire illness to have.
How can people get in touch with you and attend those meetings that you offer?
Well, we've got a website, and that's www.cancer-acts, as in the Book of Acts.com. We've also written a book, which we'll let you have a copy of, which it just details all what we did, and it's called "Do You Want to Know What We Did to Beat Cancer?" It's simple. It says it as it is on the tin. That's what it is. And we've been having such a lot of positive feedback from that, and it just logs the reasons why I started researching, you know, where we were, where we are now, and the principles and protocols of how we got there. So it's a fairly simple book, 158 pages, and it's, yeah.
We also do lifestyle coaching that we don't charge for locally. 2 days a week, and we meet up with people, anyone that wants to have a one-on-one with us, just to talk through what they think is a difficult diet and make them realise it's not so difficult, you know, once they learn to give up a few things that they're used to having.
And the meetings are free. We don't charge for the meetings, we don't charge for speaking with people, and it's just become our passion, hasn't it? That it's what we do, it's who we are.
Robert and Sue, thank you for spending the time with us today, traveling all the way down here to London to share your inspiring story. I'm inspired. I know the people that are watching are inspired, so thank you very much. I
Pleasure
really
to meet you
appreciate it.
too.
Yeah.
Thank you for all you're doing as well, Ty.
You're wonderful.
Yeah, it's quite inspirational. It's great stuff.
We wonder how you get away with it.
The inspiration goes both ways here. I really admire what you're doing.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's all good.